Okay. Hey guys. I want to start by saying thank you guys for all the views. Um, in this video, it'll just be like a quick Nami deck. I'm gonna show it in real life though, so that's a little bit different from normal. I have my mat down here. I'll switch angles when we start the video. I just want to say a couple things. Is I'm still trying to change my name. Put a comment if you have an idea for my name. And thank you guys for all the views so far. And I'm definitely going to keep up with this, and there's obviously going to be a new video each day. Not really a set time, but each day there should be a new video. um, don't don't stay up for it though, because sometimes I totally forget and then I update it like the next day in the morning on accident. So yeah, I've been pretty thorough the last week. That's been pretty nice. But yeah, I'm aiming for like every day, but sometimes I have to like space it out, so it's every like 2 days. It's kind of just different. But yeah, thank you guys for all the views, and let's get into it. So for some reason, I think it's this. This cover's not gonna let this close, so I gotta do it without the cover, sadly. But these are my custom cards I had made. Really nice cards. So what I did for this, and this is what you should do if you're gonna go to locals. You can't obviously use these in big tournaments, but for locals, what you want to do is, if you do want to use your custom art, what's totally acceptable, right? It must say everything on the card like normal, and then I have mine, so I can flip it over and then prove that's the same one, just in case somebody has a problem with it, right? I can see my GoPro through that. That's funny. But yeah, that's just to like show the card, right? That's how I do mine. Um, I think that's the easiest way to do it. What I'm gonna do here is I did an iceberg video just like this, because I had it in real life and I didn't really want to have to build it inside the sim. I already had it built in the sim, but I just really rather would like to show off the deck that I paid lots and lots of money for. But this deck I didn't pay that much for, but yeah. So I'm just gonna start laying them out and then keep talking. There's a lot of cards. So this deck is actually built for if you guys play Nami, you will obviously know that Nami's not great right now. Nami can be actually really good though in the meta. Even though it doesn't feel like it, this deck that I'm going to be showing you guys is actually super destructive. So it destroys a lot of stuff and sits on its side of the board, and you don't have to leave your side of the board to destroy their side. Right? So you don't have to throw Zephyrs at them, you don't have to throw your leader at them. Like you always do, right? You always want to get those cards out of their hands so they don't have as much to attack you with. But obviously you want to do that, right? Sorry, I'm trying to mess with some stuff too. I should unplug my thing so it's not in the way. But yeah, the really good thing about this deck is it destroys a lot. It sits on its side a lot, and I'll show you guys like a little playthrough just on my side, like just to kind of explain stuff about the deck, and then show you guys what like a normal hand would be, and what you want to look for, obviously, right? There's a lot of really nice cards in here. Yeah, I'm really happy with this art. I was kind of worried. It's really nice in person. It's a little bit darker on camera. It's much better in person. It does very much look like Nami too. And I triple sleeved these. And then I got my Rick Sanchez sleeves on too, because I like to flex. People always get a kick out of it. It's really actually funny. I got my all art Zeph. I'm trying to get 4 of them. But I'm not trying to spend like a lot of money on this deck because this is like my fun deck. So if I like pull it, I put it in here. Or if I find something for like a good price, I'll be like, okay, I'll just buy it, and then I'll probably just resell most of the stuff in here when I get bored of the deck. But this deck, I get bored of, but I don't sell the cards because like as soon as I'm bored with that other deck, then I just go back to this. This is like my mill deck between like me not knowing what I'm gonna play, right? That's how I do this. But I really enjoy this deck a lot. And if you enjoy the deck, you'll be playing a lot of it, and you'll know if you like look at the deck, you'll be like, okay, I really like this, or oh, I really don't like this, right? I noticed that's like a really big thing about people in this deck is like they really enjoy it or they really don't, and I understand both sides, because how much of it I play. But honestly, I just enjoy the deck a little too much, I think. But I noticed a lot of the YouTubers that make YouTube videos about this, they really enjoy the deck. Like, really enjoy the deck. And I thought that was really strange. I mean, I understand it, right? Because I play a lot of it. But, so we have red rocks. Those are really nice for destruction, right? I really enjoy them for destruction a lot, actually. They're one of the nicest items because somebody pays like 10 for some weird like 10 or 12k character, and then before they can even use that character and they spent that 10 dons so they couldn't like do much, that was played. And then I have 3,000 swords, so I don't have to sacrifice a Gum Gum Red Rock just to destroy something that I could kill that's under 5. I'll read each card just to explain, even though the decks even though all the events are super long, it's fine. Because there's a couple that aren't as long. I know I don't have like a huge amount of space here. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this seems about right. Yeah. So this is definitely the whole deck. I run, and this is more just of a personal thing, but I always like to point it out. I keep everything very organized. So I run the VV sleeves with the Yamato backs because I really like that blue and I think it matches really well. The only thing it doesn't really match with is the Rick sleeves, but I still think it's super funny. It's more like a meme, right? That's honestly what this deck is. Some really nice substitutes that I would definitely point out to you guys before we start talking about this deck are, we have Usops. Some people like to slip 1 or like 4 in, or you can slip different amounts in because it's just rush Zeph. That's all it is. The only difference is this one's a 6k, this one's a 5k, and the whole point of having Zephs is to put Kai's back into your hand to replay, or or to put a Dawn onto and then mill 7 cards. So milling's trashing a certain amount of cards, and they go straight to your trash. It sounds really bad, but the whole point of Nami's deck is, and I'll read it off to you guys, is as soon as you hit 0 cards, and I know you guys can't really read this, it's kind of hard honestly on this side. Oh yeah, it's just kind of hard to read. Basically, if you're down to 0 cards, you win the game. Like if your decks drop down to 0 cards, you just straight up win. It's like the only other way to win. And then we have this is kind of like Zeph, but it's a 4 cost, and it's Bellamere, and when she dies, this is the difference from Zeph, Usopp, and Bellamere. Bellamere, when she dies, she trashes 3 cards from the top of your deck, and then when she hits, obviously she trashes 7 cards. Zeph, when he hits, he trashes 7 cards. Usopp, when he hits, he trashes 7 cards, right? That's a really big thing that can win you games right there. I did a really aggressive deck that I actually showed on this channel. And then one other thing that's actually not played in this deck because you don't search for it much is buggies. Buggies are normally a Nami thing. There is a lot of search in here for it, but I personally like having more events because that's what I play off of, right? And then you don't have Love Mellows in here, and they are pretty expensive cards, so that's a really nice cost to not have to pay. Your characters are going to be more expensive. I think Kai is like up to $2, so it's not terrible. But I think the All Art Zeph's like 25, I think 30. He's a little bit higher on the market. That is a little bit upsetting, but it's not the end of the world, honestly. But the really weird part is there's nothing good about it except if you're playing Nami. Nobody's really playing Nami, so it's kind of crazy when the cards go up for decks that aren't even being played, right? Because you're like, oh, it's being played, like Katakuri. It goes up because it's being played in an L. And Katakuri, obviously. Okay, so This is a really weird opinion that people have, but you'll notice it in almost every single Nami deck, is you have Impel All-Stars. You may trash 2 cards from your hand if your leader has the Impel Down type, draw up to 2 cards. Your leader doesn't have Impel Down, but the only reason that you have this is to trash it, because you have cards like Gum Gum Gavel that we'll talk about in a minute, and it trashes cards to do effects. But if you hit this on trigger, that's what you want. It just draws you 2 cards if you hit it on trigger. It's one of the nicest things to hit on trigger. But if you don't hit it on trigger and it just comes out of your deck, you can gum it. There's like different things that you can do, like Kaya. Kaya draws 2, trashes 2, so you can trash, like, you draw 2 and then you can trash like Impel Down All-Stars, right? So if you pull 2 Impel All-Stars, you can do some crazy stuff with that. That's an event. So now for character, we have Zeph. We run 4 of him. Oh, sorry. We run 4 Impel Downs, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we run 4 Zephs. Zeph's really nice here because we kind of already talked about it, but I will read exactly what it says. He's a 5 cost, 6k, 1k counter. Don X1, so added on to the character. When this character attacks, deals damage to your opponent's life, you may trash 7 cards from the top of your deck. That is why your deck can win. If you can get 1 hit off and just survive for a long time, you can just win the game off of hitting 1. Because you'll notice that you hit the barrier of about 10 cards, you get kind of stuck, and then you'll lose. You may return up to 1 character with cost 3 or less to owner's hand. Trash 2 cards from top of owner's deck. That's his on play. So that's the big difference from Zeph, Belmarie, and Usopp. We only run Zeph in this deck because of what type of deck it is. It's a much less aggressive deck, and it's a lot more I sit on my side, I do counters, kill your guys, try and just survive out your attacks, right? This deck definitely takes a little bit more brain power than I'd say like the common Nami deck. But we play 4 Death Winks. These are what you can counter out to 11k just by paying 3. And this is how you can win a lot of games. So I will read off trigger first. Return up to 1 character with cost 7 or less back to hand. So this doesn't seem aggressive, but what it really does is you can put Kaya's back into your hand. You could put a Zeph, I guess, back into your hand if you want to like Deathwing, Zeph back to your hand, play him again, grab Kaya, play Kaya again, right? That's a more advanced, like, oh, I have nothing else to do, and if the enemy has something with 7 or less that you could put back and it's going to do a lot of damage, like a lot of hits to you, then that's a really nice way to get stuff off the board without having to pay anything, right? Because triggers, you don't have to pay any Dawn. So counter, up to 1 of your leader or character gains plus 6,000 power during this turn. And then there's another part. Then draw cards so that you have 2 cards in hand. So it doesn't trash your cards out of your hand. All it does is if Deathwink is the only card in your hand, you play it, now you're down to 0 cards, right? Now you get to draw 2 cards until you're at 2. Because you're never negative cards, right? The lowest that you're going to go. So basically, you're going to counter out with a lot of big attacks. And then if you have a Gum Gum Gavel and then you have an Impel All-Star and you're like, dang, I can't get Impel out of my hand. And then you have a Gum Gum, that's a perfect way to get 2 cards out of your hand. So if there's going to be 2 attacks, plus 4k with your Gum Gum Gavel, then you have to trash something. So you Impel down it, trash. And then you play Deathwink to add 2 cards to hand. And that's going to put more cards out of your stack, more cards into your hand, and then you can counter and survive longer. Now you have Mr. Point 1. Add up to 1 blue event card with cost 1 from your trash to your hand. So if you're milling a lot and trashing a lot of cards, your Mr. Point 1 is a big part of your deck. Because basically you can search up to 4 cards, 1 cost cards, events, from your trash. So you can pull like Impel Downs, you can pull Gum Gum Gavels, you can pull Usopp's Rubber Band, you can pull Desert Espada. That's it in this deck. but that's pretty high because normally it's like 3 sets of cards. And the really nice thing about that is I wouldn't say to pull Gum Gum Gavels because that does really lower your hand, but if you have like Impel Down All-Stars that you just can't get out of your hand and you don't have like Kaya's or something, then play a Gum Gum Gavel. It's really nice. And sometimes you just don't have enough Dawn, so you have to play Gum Gum Gavel and then trash something. It's not always the worst thing to do, right? And Deathlink's still really good because it puts your leader up to 11k for 3 Dawn, so that's really nice. So you have attacks like Yamato, you have attacks like Katakuri. So Katakuri is 8,000, Yamato's 9,000, and then Big Mom's 8,000, I think. So these all-stars are really good against that because it puts up your leader to 11k, so they gotta like sacrifice a lot of Dawn just to get past your Deathlink. So you may pay for like 4 Dawn at max, but you're really gonna pay like 3. But Mr. Point 1, Search 1, obviously, we have 4 of him. Kaya's we play 4, obviously. It's a 2k counter. Don't use it as a counter unless you really need to, and I'll explain that. Draw 2, trash 2 on play. So the combo to remember is that you play Kaya, you play your Zeph when you're ready, you grab Kaya with your on-play ability with Zeph. You may return 1 character with cost 3 or less back to owner's hand and trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. The trashing of 2 cards off the top of your deck, if you're playing in real life, you gotta really remember that. Because Exim will obviously do it for you, but that one's a harder one to remember. But yeah, it's just play Kaya, trash 2, you basically draw 2, and then you trash 2 out of hand, and then you can, basically you can use Kaya's double times. And then you can actually do it multiple, like triple to 4 times. I've milled out a deck almost just by using 1 Kaya. I'll explain that. And then we have Dragon Twister. He's a more less played one, but I think it's one of the nicest cards in the deck. It's very destructive. So what this card does is up to one of your leader character cards gains plus 4,000 during this battle. Then place up to one of your characters with cost 1 or less at the bottom of owner's deck. Don't put your own cards at the bottom of your deck because you're trying to mill out your deck, right? What that's going to do is if they have blockers and you're trying to get through with the Zeph, they're going to obviously block. But if you play Dragon Twister, you can get their 1 cost blockers to the bottom of their deck. And so they're not going to find it again. They can't search for it. I know there's not many cost 1 cards, but you'll have ones like... You're gonna find Sakazuki can grab like on-play cards that he trashed. Like if he gets cards trashed, then he can grab them back because they're black cards and they're like 1 or less, right? Or 5 and 4, I think. This one's a really good one because it goes to the bottom of their deck, not to their trash, so they can't play the on-play character twice. But it's really there for its 4k power value for 2 cost. And then its triggers while you play it. Return up to 1 character with cost 6 or less back to owner's hand. That is the best thing about it. That's why it's very destructive. Is because that can put people behind steps on steps, right? Because instead of them attacking with multiple cards, they're only attacking with like a leader. Instead of stuff like that. But you'll have characters like Vivi. Vivi can't attack, right? She literally can't. And then you'll have cards like Rebecca. Rebecca can't attack. So that's a really big thing to remember is like if you could just keep Rebecca's cards low, like characters out on the board low, if you can get Vivi's cards on the board low. Okay, so now we have Overheat. Up to one of your leader cards gains plus 4,000 during this battle, then return 1 active character with cost 3 or less back to owner's hand. So this matters almost the most out of this deck. This is why Kaya is so good in here, and that's why Overheat's so good. I will read the trigger, but I want to explain. So let's say I don't want to use Zeph, and I do still want to defend 1 more attack than I normally would. What you could even defend multiple because Zeph's 5, this card's 2. Let's say I play Kaya. I draw 2, trash 2, doesn't matter which ones I draw and trash. And then what happens is I give it to their turn. They're like, okay, I'm going to attack you for 7k, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, because +4. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that and then bring my 3 or less Kaya back to hand. Now I have a 2K, or I can play it again, draw 2, and then trash 2 out of hand. The big thing about this is it also has a trigger, and the trigger is return up to 1 character with cost 4 or less back to owner's hand. That's a really good card, because it's just like Dragon Twister, but Overheat's better for its counter, and Dragon Twister's better for its trigger. It still is very good. Okay, so now Sanji's Peel Off. You want to use it if you pull it as trigger, because it's the exact same thing as paying with 3 Dawn. You draw 2 cards. That's it. Its triggers activate this character's main effect, so you just draw 2 cards. If you pull out a trigger, use it, because there's no reason to have it in your hand unless you really need like a gum. No, there's no reason to have that in your hand, actually. Don't try and Gum Gavel it. This card will win you the game. It's just so good. Sanji's Peel Off is one of the best events in the game. Just for that one fact. It's just like Kaya, but you don't have to trash cards out of hand. You just gain them. Now we have Gum Giant Gavel. You may you may trash 1 card from your hand. Up to one of your leaders. Leader gains plus 4,000 power during this battle. Then you may trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. You have to trash to get the counter. Then you may trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. Now I will read off the trigger, but I want to explain this. So it's a 1 cost. Instead of having to pay 2 Dawn, you pay 1 Dawn, but you have to trash. And then you also then you trash 2 cards off top of your deck. The trashing of 2 cards off the top of your deck isn't bad. You want to for sure do it, obviously. But it's like not the end of the world. And then we have his trigger. Return up to 1 character with 4 or less back to owner's hand. So remember this. You can bring, if you pull off trigger and then you already have a Kaya down, well, you always want to have a Kaya down. If you don't have a Kaya down, then you want to put the Kaya down, or you don't have one. Not having a Kaya is really bad for you. And that's a really bad thing, honestly, just for the deck. But you can't really search for it. There's no card that's actually worth searching for it. The only thing I could say it's actually worth searching is if you put Appice in the deck, and Appice isn't that good. People really fight over this card. It's just like Impel Down All-Stars. It's just like that, but you may trash 2 cards, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 East Blue type card, and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in order. You have to trash cards. It's really there for the 2K counter, but you can search Kaya's off of it, and that is the one thing, is you can break really hard if you don't play correctly. That's why Gum Gavels are really useful. That's why Sanji's Peel Offs are really useful. That's why Impel All-Stars cards are really useful, even though they do break you. And then we're gonna have I told you guys about the Gum Giant Gavel effect and trigger. So now we have 4 of Usopp's. By the way, everything that I've read off so far is 4, but Dragon Twisters is actually 2. So everything here is 4 so far, except the Dragon Twisters. That's actually the only card in this deck that we don't run 4 of. It's Dragon Twisters. Everything else we run 4 of. So now we have Usopp's Rubber Band of Doom. He's a 1-cost event. It gives you 2k power during this battle. Up to one of your leader or characters gains plus 2,000 power during this battle. Then you may trash 1 card from the top of your deck. Really useful. It gets you out of the 5k attacks the best. I mean, Mr. Point 1s are good to also put down, but you're also not trashing a card. You're taking a card out of your hand that you don't want to take out of your hand. You really just want to, if you have the chance to put a Mr. Point 1 down or put a Usopp's Rubber Band, use the Usopp's Rubber Band, because you can play Mr. Point 1 to search it out of your trash, and then you can trash 1 card, draw 1 card, and then trash 1 card off the top of your deck. That's the big point of it. And then now for 2 of our, so I will do our Desert Espadas, and then I will do 2 of our most destructive things in our deck, even though Dragon Twisters and Overheats are really destructive. I really want to point out this card first. So, Desert Espada, he is one of the best cards in the deck. This card does make you feel like you're good at the game, if you know what you're looking for. So, up to one of your leader characters gains plus 2,000, just like Usopp's Rubber Band. Then look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put them on the top or bottom of your deck, but first you get to put them in whichever order you want. So we get to look at the top 3. First off, you pick if you want them at the bottom or top. Let's say I want them at the top, so I know what I have. If they're not all Impel Down All-Stars and you're not ready for them or something, then you can put them at the bottom. Or if they're Deathwinks and you're not late game and you don't want them, you can put them at the bottom. If there's only like one Deathwink and you don't have one in hand and you're low on cards, that's also a thing that you can do. Like if you have a Gum Gum Gavel, Impel Down All-Stars, and Deathwink. But basically what I do is let's say that we have a Zeph that we pulled off top, a Deathwink, and then a Mr. Point 1 on top of deck. So like this. This is our top of deck. I play this to counter out with 2. Then I get to look at my cards, say, okay, I want to get my Zeph. And then I'm probably gonna, this turn I'm gonna play Usopp's Rubber Band, so I'm gonna draw 1, trash 1. So what I probably want to do here is I'm gonna want to draw Zeph, so I'm gonna put him on the top. And then I would rather trash Deathwink and then pull Mr. Point 1 on my next turn. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on top of deck like that after I did the 2K. They're gonna attack me. I Usopp's Rubber Band. I draw 1 card to hand. I trash 1 card to deck. So I trash my Impel, and then I drew my Zeph. And then now it's my turn because that was the final attack. Now what my hand is extra is a Zeph and a Mr. Point 1. That's when the deck gets a little bit more complicated. But as soon as you guys play a little bit, you guys will understand. It's really nice though. The deck is truly really nice. I know I've shown this one off a couple times, but I honestly didn't have another video to show off for tomorrow's thing. But I always like to be prepped, and I'm a little tired and sick. That's why my videos have been a little bit slower, a little bit less crazy. And then we have a 6-cost Gum Gum Red Rock. So there's multiple reasons why you don't want this card, but there's multiple reasons why you do want this card. It bricks really hard. It costs 6, so you have a lot less on to like use like effects with. But the really big thing is place up to 1 character at bottom of owner's deck. Not to hand, but to deck. So let's say that they have any character, by the way, that says that it can be affected by effects. So the really big thing is like there's a 5-cost blocker that says that he can't be KO'd by effects. This actually works on him. Because it's not KOing, it's actually putting it at bottom of owner's deck. So basically, if you have a Big Mom, what happens is Sabo, let's say that they play a Big Mom, they attack with it, and then they play a Sabo, and then they give it to my turn. I can give Gum Gum Red Rock, even though Sabo says that his thing can't be KO'd by effects, it doesn't say that it can't be removed from their board. So what I'm going to do is pay 6, play Gum Gum Red Rock. I'm going to kill your Big Mom. Or not kill, but put it at bottom of deck. And then that's basically going to get the Big Mom off the field, so I don't have to play Deathwinks before I need to. And then place up to 1 character with cost 4 or less at bottom of owner's deck, if that's a trigger. If you pull it off trigger. That does really change the deck. And then for our final item, people will fight me on this. I think this is one of the best effects in this deck. And it is 3,000 Worlds. Place up to 1 character with cost 5 or less at bottom of owner's deck. Place up to 1 character. Place up to 1 character with 5 or less at bottom of owner's deck. So, like, if you have Zephs, then you can play Zeph. First you'd play Kaya, play Zeph, grab Kaya, and then wait a turn. Or basically, play Kaya, do Zeph, and then wait a turn. Well, I'm saying this wrong. Play Kaya, The next turn you'd play Zeph, grab Kaya, play Kaya, and then what you're gonna do is there's one blocker and it's like a 4 cost. Then you can play 3,000 worlds, destroy that blocker, hit for like 7 or 8k with Zeph, and what's gonna happen there is they're gonna have to let you hit it, and then so you can mill 7 cards. That's a really big thing about this deck. That's how you get past everything. And then the final thing is the trigger. The trigger is place up to 1 character with 3 or less at bottom of owner's deck. I think it's really good. But honestly, the ones that you want to, the mains, if they have good triggers and you want to use them, I'd rather say you use them for defense. Because you may never have a chance again if you die, right? That's a really big thing to remember. Is, will I die if I don't use my effect here? Yeah? Okay, then I'm definitely going to want to use it, so I'm going to do it now. But yeah, we play 4 Impel. I'll just do this. We play 4 Impel Down All-Stars. We play 4 Zephs. We play 4 Deathwinks. 4 Mr. Point 1s. 4 Kayas. 2 Dragon Twisters. I'll put them on the screen if you guys want to. And then 4 Overheats. 4 Sanji's Pilafs. 4 Gum Gum Gavels. Usopp's Rubber Band. Desert Espada. 4 of each, by the way. Just not Dragon Twister. And then 4 of Gum Gum Red Rock. And then 4 of 3,000 Worlds. And then now that I showed you guys the deck, honestly, what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my deck back together because I'm going to event later, and I will probably update you guys on that, maybe. It's like a 50-50 if I will. It'll be at the end of the video, though. It'll like tell you guys if I won or lost or got first place or got 80th. Yeah. So, yeah. And then I will do a game, I think, right now on this deck. I'll have to look at my deck, so because I don't know which one's the real one. But I'll switch over to that in just a second. I really like this deck though. This is one of the best decks right now because a lot of the decks right now just don't work in Nami's favor. But this is honestly the nuke to everybody's deck, and if you can just keep all the cards off that the enemy's board, then you can win. Yeah, this is my custom Nami, and then this is the original. So I think this one's way cooler. But I guess somebody probably likes this one more. Technically, it's not shiny though, so I don't know why anybody would actually like it. I'm gonna be playing this one tonight though at the tournament. And then we have the Dawn with the VV on them. But that's what I run. And then I don't have a blue deck mat, but this is what I have is a red deck mat. Yeah. So I will be recording the game video for you guys in just a second. So let's get over to that. Okay, now that we're over on this, I'm gonna close that so you guys have. Okay, now that we have this, this is the deck inside. So I already told you guys all about this, but if you guys just want to take a picture of this to see it a little bit better, you guys can. I will slowly hover over each one. Just pause if you need to. I think I read them all correctly. I hope I did. But just in case I didn't, here's each one. You can see how many are played. Everything's played as 4 except Dragon Twister. The best card in this deck, honestly, is the Zeph Kaya combo, and people are trying to get away from it because there's a lot of decks that destroy stuff, and people really just don't enjoy playing Nami if everything on their side's destroyed and they haven't even attacked with it. I think it's a little bit of BS, but I mean, it's fine. So we're just going to start going through lobbies. Some people just leave because they don't enjoy playing against this. So I have... so one big thing is to look if you have triggers. And another thing to look at is if you have death winks. Because death winks are like late game. not for where we're at right now. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna play Kaya, and then I'm gonna obviously trash the impel down, and then I will trash here I will trash. The real question is, yeah, I will trash. I'll trash my Usopp's rubber band and then give it to her turn. So this leader can attack, so this is like a really good one, because I was talking to you guys earlier about like which leaders are good and which leaders aren't good against this. Also, I have a Zeph, so that's really nice. So as soon as I have enough Dawn to put out Zeph, I'll probably put out Zeph and put Kai back to my hand, or I'll put Mr. Point 1 back into my hand, because that one's like really nice. So I can do whatever here because I have so much Dawn. But yeah, so I have 5 cards in hand. I've trashed one, or I've trashed multiple. I'm at 34 cards. I started at 10, or at 50, so that's really nice. I can't do anything. I have 2 Dawn standing up. That's nice. She can't do much with Rush, but I mean she still can do Rush with certain cards, so that is a pretty big little that's a little worry. But the really nice thing is I can put Kai's back into my hand with this, or I could put Mr. Point 1's back into my hand with this. Right now, honestly, I don't really want Impel down, so it's fine. But that's really nice to have a Mr. Point 1 down there, just in case my Kai does get destroyed, because I could still grab Mr. Point 1 and grab some more events. So there we go. He killed my... I don't know why he killed Mr. Point 1, but he did. Maybe he saw... I think he just realized I can't attack it, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, there we go. He just trashed one. So, he didn't really do much there. Now I have a Gum Gum Red Rock. These kind of sit in my hand. It's not the end of the world, though. I could grab Kaya and play a Zeph right now. Do I want to? Yes, because I'm not going to grab the Kaya. I'm actually going to put his card back into his hand. Even though he's going to play off Kaya and kill my Kaya, I'm fine with trashing those 2 cards because I didn't have to do extra work to get where I wanted. So I got my Zeph out, and now he has to play that same character over again, and so he's going to be behind on Dawn, and his leader can't attack. So this is like very specific. Okay, so he's trying to actually kill the Zeph. Well, I think he can here. No, he can't, unless he puts another cost down, because he's 5 cost. And he can kill something with 1 or less. So unless he can play something with 1 cost, yeah, I don't know what he's trying to do there. Maybe he just straight up just hoped. I don't know. Maybe he didn't do math right. Maybe I'm not reading right. Yeah, he just killed my Kaya. That's fine. There's another Kaya too. So if I really wanted to, I could put a Kaya. He doesn't have blockers right now. So what I could do is I could pay 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could put 3 Dawn on him. So I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3 Dawn. Attack later. So it takes it, I mill. So now I'm at 26 cards. I have to hit 0 to win. And then what I'm actually going to do here is, I could play my Kaya, because I could play this effect and put Kaya back to my hand. He really didn't want to trash cards on my hand, and even if he doesn't let you hit it, it does suck. But it doesn't mean game's over at all. So, I have another Zeph. He's going to target my Zeph. And I don't really want to counter out if I don't have to. So I think what I'm going to do here is actually trash my Gum Gum Red Rock and trash my Desert Espada. Because I have 2 of those. So I think I'll do that and then keep 3 up so I can play a Overheat to put Kai back in my hand. And then I will pay 1 to draw on the trash or Desert Espada. You guys will see my triggers are going to be pretty good here. That's always a really big thing to point out. And always taking life, I haven't figured it out exactly, but taking life early isn't always the worst thing ever. Um, Even though, and don't quote me on this, but sometimes taking that life isn't the worst thing ever. But yeah, so I could do a 2K here. What does this one have rush? This one does not have rush. So this is the only attack that's going to go through. So what I want to do is put this back into hand. I survived the attack because this one does not have rush. So that put Kai back in my hand. That put me ahead, and he probably would have destroyed it with like something like a Kairos. He's really trying to kill this though. So I mean, if he does have Kairos in hand, that does kind of suck. Yeah. Okay. So he has Korra. I always forget about that. So he can play stuff and attack instantly with it. I always forget about that. Okay. So I have 9. So what I could do here is play Kaya, play Zeph, do the whole long run. What I think I will actually do here. So I will trash this and trash this. Actually, I will draw 2 because this seems better in my opinion. And then I have some cards that I could find that I want actually. And I have a desert. I have, yeah, that's fine. So I'll grab that. And I'm probably messing up multiple times in this video, so please don't copy me exactly. I've said this in multiple videos before. I'm not good at the game, so please don't copy me because of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have. Okay, so I'm just gonna attack a 5 on this, so he has to put some kind of counter on it, or just let it go. So we'll see what he does. Oh yeah, I always forget if you can pay the 1 and then you can like keep your character alive or something weird. That you can tap it and then. Oh, he's just like trashing cards and stuff to keep him alive. Oh no, never mind. I'm lying. So what I'm probably gonna do, and this was another option instead of playing Kaya, I could have killed one of his cards, with 3,000 worlds. Like I could have killed this guy. But honestly, he's already gonna KO my Mr. Point 1 probably, and then my Kaya, just because that's how he's been doing it all game. Return 7 cards from the trash to the bottom of your deck in order to set this character to active. Oh, okay. He's just... Okay, I see. Interesting. So I'm at 20 cards right now, so that's not terrible. I hit a really early Zeph hit that I don't think I deserve to hit. So this will put me up to 9, and then I can put something back to hand. So I'll put Kaya back to hand. So I survived the attack. I got Kaya back to my hand. He's actually not going to attack with this. I don't know what this Rebecca's doing. I guess she just doesn't play a lot against Nami's. Well, I mean, it's understandable because it's already kind of a hard thing to... Okay, so what, like I was saying, is what do I want to draw and what do I not want to draw? So I want to actually draw... So place on top, I'm going to want to trash this one and I want to draw... So I want to trash this one and I want to draw this one because I have Usopp in my hand. So now if he attacks me with this one, now I draw. Oh, wait, did I just... Oh my god, I'm so goofy. Did I just went goofy mode? Okay, I did just go I just went goofy mode. Okay, see, this is what I was talking about. So, I didn't realize. So, I was thinking the trigger was the counter and the counter was the trigger. Yeah. So that's my fault. That is my fault. So I didn't trash what I wanted to. Okay, so that's fine. That's still not the end of the world. What I could do here is I could play... If I got a Mr. Point 1, then I could like draw some nice stuff and that'd be nice. Okay, so I pulled... So I'm gonna trash this obviously, and then I could play a Kaya or I could... So here, I'm so late into game, honestly, I'd rather put this back into hand and then trash cards off top of my deck. honestly. And then play this, and then draw two, and then trash the two that I don't want. Even though this seems really weird, it's not as weird as you actually think. Even though she's probably just gonna tap herself just to keep it alive, it's fine. Still not the end of the world, because it's kind of like Sabo, right? It's kind of how it works, I'm guessing. I don't play against Rebecca like pretty much at all. We don't even have half the black cards for the deck, so I mean, my dad and me both just don't play black much. Okay, so at this point, I'm at 12 cards. I'm in a much better position. I draw, so I can trash 2 cards right now, so I'm going to be at 10 cards exactly, and then I have 5 triggers, and these triggers are going to let me draw stuff and destroy his cards. So what I could really do here is let him do a couple hits, or I could, I think I'll let him have like 2 hits on me. So I'll probably, yeah, what I'm probably going to do, he's thinking over there what he wants to do. If he doesn't put out too much rush, then I may just let him, I'll probably let him have 2 cards here, and then defend 1 attack. Unless he's going to play something with rush, like kind of how Rebecca should. He's only trashed 11 cards. I've trashed 28. I have a Zeph too. What's a really big thing to point out is I have a Zeph out, so if that does hit, that's kind of just a win at this point almost. It's really close. Because even him, yeah, he really wants to kill this, but it's at 5, so he has to kind of like perfectly do this. Okay, so return a character with 6 or less back to owner's hand. What I'm actually going to do is, I'll put this back to hand, actually, I think. Because that will keep 1 attack off me, right? So I have to not pay as much Dawn. That's a really nice one to do. Because I couldn't put this one back to hand because his cost isn't 6, it's 7. Or I would have put this one back because it's 7k. But at this point, he has 6 Dawn up, so he can't play Monkey D. Luffy. He can't play another one. He has something in there that's around 5 or 4 probably cost that he wants to play. He's probably going to keep 1 Dawn up to attack with his rush, because he's got a rush, right? There we go. There's his effect. I knew he had something that was going to kill something. That's fine. He lost a life, actually, somehow. Oh, yeah, because I hit the Zeph. I always forget that. That's fine. So I'm still at 12. I didn't put Zeph back into my hand, even though I could have. It's fine though. If I didn't play Sanji's peel off wrong, I would be 2 cards ahead, and then I would actually be much farther ahead than you'd think. Return a character 4 or less back to owner's deck. Back to owner's deck. So what I'm actually gonna do is I could red rocket, because I can't pick it. I could red rocket for 6. What I'm actually going to do. So I'm just going to take the trigger, right? He doesn't have any Dawn up, so he can't attack. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 1, find what I want out of search here. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is red rock. Well, yeah, I'm going to red rock. Now I have 3, so I have 3 Dawn up. And then I will attack 5 on 5. See what he does. He's waiting for opponent. Yeah, he did something. I think he just paid the 1. Oh, yeah, he did this. And then that's it. And it's his turn again. So I've lost 2 life, and then I'm at 11 cards. So this is when the game gets a little bit slow. Because I'm kind of just letting him do his thing over there. And that's not good to do. Let Rebecca do her thing, because Rebecca's whole thing is that she slowly does a lot. Like a lot. There's a Sabo. He hasn't... your character can't be KO'd until... Okay, that's fine. He's red rocking, and... Okay, he's just trashing cards right now. That's all he's doing. Draw 2, trash 2. Okay, that makes sense. So he took away a red rock from his hand, so he must have a second one, right? But he doesn't have multiple anymore. And he's trashed how many red rocks? 1... Just 1, and then 2 Coliseums. So he only... I mean, he doesn't need multiple, right? I mean, you can have multiple because you can make multiple things rush. I'm pretty sure if I'm correct about this, but I'm not 100%. Because I know some events you can't play multiple times, but some stages you can. There's a second Sabo. Let's see what he does here. He trashes. Will he trash two? Did he trash two? He trashed one. There's two. Okay. Now everything on his side has Sabos. So now this would work. Bottom of owner's deck. I could still do this. But I don't really actually have a reason. Unless I just don't want him to attack with something. What honestly I kind of do want him to not attack. So I may just put something at the bottom of his deck. And I know they can put the Sabos there. But he's probably going to block with them. But if he doesn't, that's really going to suck. So I'm just going to put a Sabo at the bottom of his deck. Because that's fine. And then I'm going to let it be his turn. I know I could be hitting. I could put a Dawn on him and hit. And if he lets me hit, then that's one more card trashed. Honestly, games aren't that close to, like, because I wouldn't be hitting 6 hits, right? Because I'd win the game just by killing him off of hitting. And he's probably not even going to counter out. He's probably just going to honestly take. And then so he's just going to have more cards in his hand so he can do more attacks and do exactly what he wants to me. That's why I'm not hitting him. That's a really big thing about Nami that you got to remember. What I'm trying to do here is play Desert Espada, find what I want, and then trash two cards off that I want to trash. But I took one attack away, so he only can attack twice. So he can't really kill me here. The most he could do is attack 3 times this turn and put me at 0 life, right? What I can see is, yeah, he doesn't want to play. He didn't know what he wanted to do against me. We'll play probably one more here, if the game lets us. The game doesn't always like us, so it's kind of hard to play, right? Boom, boom. Okay, so now that we got this open, famous YouTuber become One Piece champion, huh? I don't know who you are. You're not my mom. Alright, Dachi, let me join. I love when One Piece Simulator don't work. It's so fun. I love when simulators just don't work. I know if I waited there for 45 minutes, then I'd probably get into a game. I don't care that much, honestly. I'd rather make a new, just join on a separate server thing. I just make private things all the time and people join, honestly. That's how I do it most of the time. People seem to join a lot more if I just do that. Okay, so I have not a terrible hand because I can trash to trash, and then actually this is not a bad hand. I'll keep because I can trash to trash, and I can counter out, and then I'll be at 0 cards, and I can play Deathwink and then draw 2, and then if it's a Sanji, then it's kind of perfect. But that's like a really fast rush deck, so we'll see. So I have 2 Dawn up. Don't really have anything to do here. Can't attack, can't anything. The most I could see is if he puts all 3 of his Dawn onto his side guy. Yeah. Honestly, that's not bad right here. So I'm doing a fast game to show you guys, like, because I'm not planning to win this at all. I'm planning to just show you guys what happens if you reach out too far, right? Kind of hard in this deck, but it's not impossible. So if you reach out too far, then stuff like this happens when I have no Dawn up, so I can't protect myself. And it does happen. It happens a lot more than you'd think. Yes, I do have a Zeph, but I can't play it yet, and I'm going to have 6 Dawn next turn. So yeah. So I got this one, return 1 characters 4 or less back to owner's hand. So he has 3 Dawn up, so you can technically use this one. but it puts it back into owner's hand. So I don't want to do that because it's on play, so it draws him a card. I don't want to give him an extra card that could win him the game, right? So I'd rather let him have 2. Then I draw Sanju's peel off, so that's really good for me. Having the impel down at this point, though, isn't really worth it. He's trying to get as many hits as he can. Draw a trash one, so that's not bad. I have 8 cards in hand, so I can play a lot more defense this game and actually probably just win. It's totally not impossible here. Actually, I think here, because I don't have Kaya's and I don't actually have a reason, I may just play this. Because I could play Dragon Twister and put this at the bottom of his deck if he doesn't attack first with this. So, but he seems to be liking to hit with that guy. So, yeah. Nami, by the way, is not the deck to be low on health most of the time. There's definitely certain decks that you can be low on health, mess around, but notice how I reached in that one round. I didn't even reach that far. I just reached, and that guy got 3 lives off me because of it. So I'm going to do Dragon Twister and put this at the bottom of his deck. And he sacrificed a lot of Dawn to do that. So that's just a very big thing to notice. And then what I'm actually going to do here is, because I have a lot of cards and I'm not just going to like have a problem with it, I'm just going to mill. I'm just going to mill a lot. Because I have a lot of cards. And I haven't found Mr. Point once and I haven't found Kaya, so I'm not filtering yet. I'm just straight up grabbing cards. So what I'm going to do here is he has nothing out on board, so he only can attack once per turn. I have, oops, there you go. Okay, so this is what my hand's looking like. 4 effects, so 4, 5, 6, I have 2 extra Dawn up. I could do 6, 7, see if he counters out. If he doesn't and just takes the life to have extra card in hand, then what I can do here is I can use my effect and trash 1 card off top. Not the worst thing ever to do, honestly. If he plays something this turn, I could overheat it back to his hand. If it's not an on-play character, I like to do that a lot. Trash, that's fine. I will put that back under, because I need rest of the 6. So, their last back to hand, so I can't put this back to hand. Okay, so he's just gonna do a 10k on me. So if I had all-stars, I could have all-starred it, but honestly, all I'm gonna do here is do this, choose nothing, and then do a 2k and put myself up to this 11k, so I don't have to draw, because I have enough cards in hand. What I may just do, because he's attacking with 2 cards now, right? That really does suck. But what I can do here is I can put this at the bottom of his deck, and then his effect doesn't go off. That's really nice for me. I have 1, 2, 3, 3. So he's probably just gonna attack with main. What I want to do here is do this so I can defend 2 attacks, 2 smaller attacks, or 1 big attack. For 11k, so we'll see what he does. There's a lot of decks that just counter this really hard, and I swear if I win this, I'm going to cry, because there's no reason that I should win this game. I'm only 11 cards ahead of him right now, so I mean, that's not that far. So what he's doing here is actually giving me no chance to actually be able to defend, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm just going to take return character back to owner's deck, so I'm not going to do that. He's going to play something. There we go. Now what we can do here is put this back to his deck. He doesn't do anything. I'm actually thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, see if he takes it, if he does. Okay, there we go. 1 card of his hand. Now we're almost even. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 3, 6. So I have 7 down here. Okay, that's not bad. I'm not really giving him anything to KO because he can KO stuff so easily. But this is actually fine where I'm at. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to... even though this is a really weird thing to do in this situation, trash 2, trash 1, play this. That empties out my hand really hard, but I think that's actually fine to do here. Yeah, because I pulled it luckily just on time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could actually do 6 and hit and just see if he lets me trash. There we go. He trashed his hand, so he's lower on cards in hand. That's not bad for me. It's my turn again. I don't know. I guess he just wanted me to have more cards because he's a nice guy. Thank you. I guess. Okay. Huh. Not against it. Thank you, sir, I guess. I don't know what to say. Okay. What I actually just realized I did, though, is I will do 5k. Will you take? You will take. Okay. Let it be his turn. Here's this. I think I got a lot of destruction. I think that's why this game felt so weird for me for a minute. People keep saying that there's a Nami stage coming out. I haven't seen one, at least on the sim, and I haven't heard of one, and I haven't read of one. A couple of people have read me off the ability. That one's for Impel Down, actually, and this leader's not even Impel Down, so. You're all just crazy. You're all just crazy. It's fine, though. I don't judge you for it. Trash cards. Do 1. Okay. I survived that attack. Even though this is really crazy and you should never do this, I kind of want to be a psychopath. I kind of want to trash these and then play this to draw 2. I kind of want to do that. Because I hate human beings. Alright, come on. Draw me something good. Draw me something good. Come on. Oh, Kaya? Okay, that's actually not bad. Here, I can actually play this, and then, oh, perfect. Okay, I, think I win here. Wow, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get real close to winning, actually. That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna play this, play this, play this. Okay, there's another Kaya. Trash this, trash. This, play this. Trash. Trash. I have 1. I'm gonna trash 1. This could be like a Sanji's. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna hit Lee. I could do a couple different things actually. I think what I'll do here though is if I had more life, I'd definitely win this. Like there's no way that I couldn't win. But what I think I'll actually do here is I will do. I guess I'll do 6 and see if he defends it. So if he lets it go through, okay, there you go. That's a lot less cards in his hand. Let's see what he does here. If he doesn't play correctly, he loses, but if he plays correctly, then he definitely wins. Because if he throws 7s at me, I lose. Draw 2, trash 1. There we go. I win. You want to know why? What happens when I trash something out of my hand? I win. And you know what? If I pay 3, I win. Or no, I don't. I have to play this to win. But I just absolutely outplayed this guy. So you know what happens? Boom, boom. Trash. I win. GG. Yeah, so I'm just kind of decent with the deck, I guess. Getting those cards out of his hand was really nice, and I'm happy that he didn't go for the Zeph hit, like the Zeph push, because it really didn't matter. I pulled stuff really luckily though, because I like numbed down his board so much. But that's kind of what this deck does. And I didn't pull stuff when I needed it. I didn't pull. I pulled stuff correctly, but only because I knew what I was gonna pull because I didn't pull any before. Because you can like in real games too, you can check your trash to see what you're gonna pull in the future. I pulled a Kaya, played the Kaya, pulled two more Kayas, trashed the other two cards in my hand, played two Kayas, and then I'm down to like two cards. And then I just like take some cards, Alpha Life, and I have nothing in hand, and then just start triggering them down, right? That's a really good way to win. Is if you just have enough life, then you can start doing some crazy stuff before the game's even over, and you like secured win, right? It's kind of like a meme deck almost. I really enjoy playing that one though. That one's really fun. I'm actually really happy about that game, guys. Both those were solid games. I think Magellan's a really good, actually, meta deck, and if I kind of screwed him over with the deck that I played. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I kind of screwed him over with the deck that I played. But honestly, Sakazuki's nothing different from that deck. It's just a lot of like AFK. AFK, hey, I'll stay on my side. You hit me whenever you want, and then we'll play the game. That's just kind of how it goes. It's a lot of luck, but you can absolutely win tournaments. But it takes a lot of skill. Like this deck is definitely a lot more. That's the one really sucky thing about it is it takes skill, and you could rather play Anel. Anel has multiple ways of winning. There's lots of different stuff, but hitting people is always a very good option if you just have extra Dawn that you for sure don't need. Yeah, so that's a really nice thing to do. I actually really enjoyed that one, and I did everything kind of perfectly. That's why it went the way that it went. I'm happy about showing you guys those two games, though. Those were two solid games. I'd show you guys another one, but honestly, I think I'm going to go to the tournament thing soon. But yeah. So you guys have a good day. Please follow, please comment, please subscribe, everything. Thank you guys for all the views, and I hope this video gets a lot of views. Have a good day, guys.